All right, we're recording live. Sweet. All right, welcome everybody. This is our 7th meeting post proposal, which is sick. Good job, everybody. Wanted to say that again. It looked super sexy. Like I said, amazing work on the proposal. For the agenda today, we're going to be talking about how everybody killed it on the proposal, and it turned out really well. Moving forward, we have PDR, just some things to keep in mind for each sub team and subsystem. These are goals that don't have to be accomplished right now, but things you should be keeping in mind going into the future and to all of PDR. And then subscale, as we are moving forward, we can start building the subscale sooner rather than later, which is better because Murphy will make sure that something goes wrong. Me and him have some beef, and yeah. So, and then also outreach. Now that we've submitted our proposal, we can officially start beginning contacting schools and getting things set up. So we'll be talking about some options and asking everybody to ask around if they have any schools or communities they want to reach out to. And then last but not least, of course, your hour logs. I'll keep telling you to do your hour logs until the project is over or until everybody does their hour logs without me having to tell them. Moving forward, we have the payload system. So moving forward to PDR, we have alternative component selection. It's NASA, something that NASA wants us to make sure we look at to make sure we're not fixating on one component to do the job. Also leading component selection, preliminary payload design. So we have that already. So we're a bit ahead of schedule, but it's good to stay ahead of it's good to stay ahead of schedule and not fall behind. Payload retention system, you can see that right there on the right. It's our sexy CAD for payload and PLI. Last but not least, preliminary weights. As of right now, everything going forward, anything that you think about adding to the system, please have a roughly accurate weight statement for that, because this will affect our apogee, it will affect our parachute sizing, it affects a lot of things. And so it is important to keep track of weights to make sure you keep them up to date on any components that you might be using. And then last but not least, we also have beginning electrical diagrams. So for the payload, for any electrical system, for proposal, we were going to be requiring electrical diagrams. They don't have to be the final product, but they do have to have a general idea of the system that we're doing. This is a requirement from the PDR. Then after that, we have recovery. So below you can see our AV bay design. It's going to change slightly because I don't believe we can bend the telemetry antenna like that. But things going forward, we have design review, evaluate pros and cons of alternative designs. Like I mentioned, the schematics and wiring diagrams. Redundancy is super key for our entire recovery system. So that goes for avionics and parachutes, right? And we need to get those updated weights to the parachutes team so they can better size the kinetic energy and better locate our actual main chute deployment, because our drogue chute is deploying at apogee regardless, but our main chute deployment has to happen at a certain window. Also, redundancy for parachutes, look into that. What we just mean is basically make sure that the system has some sort of backup. We are talking about, we have 2 altimeters to ensure that if for some reason one of the charge wells doesn't go off, we have a second one. After this, we also have to present leading components for your system and select components for your system. And then last but not least, we have subscale. So for the subscale, as soon as the launch vehicle team decides on what size subscale we will be doing, we'll talk about the size of the parachute, the mass, and also the required AV bay and the parachute needed for that. So that's just something to keep in mind moving forward that we're going to be looking into. And then I'm gonna hand this off to Alex to do launch vehicle.
Launch vehicle team. So the NASA really wants vehicle dimensions, justifications. They want to know where everything's located, what material we're using, why we're using those materials. They also specifically asked for these things listed on the left: the static stability margin, CGCP. You guys already have most of this, but like they want it again and like more in detail. Motor selection, thrust to rate ratio, rail exit velocity. I know we had issues with that during proposal about being too low. We're gonna have to fix that. And air brakes especially, they're gonna want a lot of stuff on the air brakes because it's not required and we're doing it for extra stuff. So they're going to want justification as to why we're doing this, and is it going to ruin our entire mission or not. So just things like that. But really good work, especially Lachlan. Like, shout out to you, bro. Crazy stuff, crazy sexy cat, bro. Love the work. Everybody else too on the LV team, not just Lachlan. Everybody's putting in a lot of work on this, and we're just really proud of you guys.
Yeah, everybody's doing a lot of work this year. Really proud. We're ahead of schedule, which is nice.
Outreach. So as Nathan mentioned, we can start doing our outreach now. We need a few more schools from you guys. So if anybody has a school that you would want to give a presentation to, please put it in the Google Drive. It's in the outreach has their own folder. Let's see what else. Oh, there's there's an award for the most student reached and having the best activities. So maybe we would want to win that. So let's try to win everything this year. Sweep all across the board. So yeah, if you guys have any schools, put them in the Google Drive. Also, if you want to reach out to the school personally, or if you would like that one of the outreach officers to reach out to them.
Yep.
And closing statements. So they're gonna award the proposal award is on October 5th. That's when we'll know. What is this question, Yoey? How close do you want the schools to be to CPP? It depends if it's going to be virtual or not. If the school's fully virtual, it won't matter. But if you want to do like an in-person activity, then I guess close to CPP would be best.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
How do you do that?
What's that?
Christian? No? Okay, cool.
Oh, okay. Update from Northrop. All right, guys, this one's kind of sad. We've been talking with Northrop, and so what happened was that at the beginning of the year, Northrop allocated a certain budget for like sponsoring teams like this, and we didn't get any of that money. So when we asked for them, the people that we asked didn't know about that budget that they had allocated. So we're not going to get any money from them. Long story short.
Or
Yeah. Sorry about getting your guys' hopes up. Our hopes were up too. GG's in the chat.
however, we are going to be still going through design reviews with them. They offered to give us feedback on each one of our design reviews before we submit them to NASA. So we accepted because it's just good to have an extra pair of eyes. And it's also good to get their feedback because they gave us a lot of really good feedback for our proposal presentation. And it's good. And this could potentially lead to connections, even if we don't get any money from them. Go ahead, Alex.
Yep, just to wrap things up, leading component selections, that's like the main thing for PDR. That's what they want from us. Okay, keeping track of your mass, that we had an issue with that again last year. So this year we don't want any issues with that. Please update your masses, keep that on track. And also they're going to want to know what changes we've made since proposal. So if any changes are made, make sure to keep track of that also. And we have a couple new members. Please submit your headshots and bio to the NSL email. There is a format. It's pinned in the team announcements channel in the Discord. Please check that out. Get that in as soon as you can. And all our logs, once again, please fill them out. Some people still haven't done like week 2.
Done week 1.
Yeah, please get the hour logs in.
Please. So yeah. Overall, guys, we've been doing great. I want to say I'm really proud of everybody. All the work we've been putting in, it's been amazing. We are slightly ahead of schedule. As for the proposal announcement date is October 5th. So the way it works is we submit the proposal and then they let us know if we've been selected. But if we're being honest, we've been selected every year, and the criteria for being selected is just meeting the general requirements. You have to meet 80% of the requirements. And thanks to our systems team that has also been killing it, we ensured to show them that we're meeting pretty much every requirement, or every requirement that's not being met is in progress of being met. So that's not something to worry about. Just, we'll be getting our scoring on October 5th, how we did on the proposal. So that's something to look forward to. And then, yeah, like Alex said, bio. But please submit your bio in a paragraph format. That's all we ask. We had a couple people that submitted it in bullet points, like answering questions. and we had to ask them to redo it and convert it to a paragraph format. So just follow the instructions. But other than that, guys, if you guys have any questions, comments, now's the time. And there's like a crazy chat, mom chat going on.
Cal Poly getting 30 million. I think that's like for the LRL, for the UAV lab.
School's not giving us anything.
How can we check if our bio is good? You can check the Umbro website and look at everybody else's from last year and see how it compares to those.
And Ben, I have your bio. If that's what you're worried about. I have everybody on the team's bio except for the new members. Those are the only people. Yep, no problem, bro. Yeah, guys, that concludes the meeting. Look forward to your next meeting with your sub teams. They'll be going over some more details in person, some more nitty gritty stuff, you guys are gonna be proceeding. Like, as always, if you have any questions, feel free to message me or Alex at any time. I don't joke around when I say anytime. I'm pretty sure some of you guys have seen that we're awake at ungodly hours of the night. So yeah, feel free to message us. But other than that, this meeting is coming to a close. So I'm gonna stop the recording. But yeah, guys,